Welcome everyone to We the People, a new birth of freedom. Thank you so much for stopping by. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the like or dislike, leave your comments below, tell your friends, relatives, neighbors, acquaintances, your enemies. Share these videos with everyone that you can. Trying to get the word out in reference to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Bloodshed. It's a tragic word. It's a tragic expression. It conjures up all kinds of images in our minds. Bloodshed, violence, destruction, death. It's been around since the biblical account when Cain rose up and murdered his brother Abel. Bloodshed, death, destruction. Wars and rumors of wars. Countless trillions times trillions of people have lost their lives in political and religious wars. An uncountable amount of blood has dropped to the earth as people have given their lives for freedom or sacrificed their lives to destroy freedom. Bloodshed. So here we are. It's nothing new. What we see taking place in our world today, in the United States today, it's nothing new, people. This has been going on for millennials. But I think what has happened, we've become too complacent, too secure in our artificial comforts. But now it's taking on reality. It's taking on actuality. George Floyd. My. I was in law enforcement for over 20 years, or around 20 years. By the grace of God, I maintained my character and my integrity. I've seen in the law enforcement circles, I've seen the good, the bad, the ugly. I know police officers that I would trust my life and the lives of my children with. I've seen others, I wondered how in the world they were able to acquire a badge and a gun and law enforcement authority. They were just criminals wearing a badge and a gun. I've seen law enforcement officers that I have spoken to that would take a simple situation that could be diffused, say a domestic violence or a disorderly. Just a few words that I've used to diffuse the situation. I've seen law enforcement officers escalate the situation, provoke the situation, just so they could make an arrest. And I've called them out on it. Far too many times. So if I've seen it, how many more officers out there have also seen and witnessed the same thing where individuals have been provoked, harassed, the situation escalated so the officer could charge them with domestic violence or a disorderly conduct and arrest? The good, the bad, the ugly, that's what we face when we dwell amongst humanity. George Floyd. I watched the videos over and over again. He was, without justification, murdered. Now, anytime a life is taken, whether it be militarily, through police authority, or through private citizen authority, it's a murder, it's a homicide. But the situation that makes the difference is whether it can be justified or not. It is clear by the videos that were taken, George Floyd's death was not justified. He had already been handcuffed. He had been sitting up beside the building for a little while he was sitting down on the sidewalk. There were plenty of officers there to do what they needed to do. If he was drunk, if he was on drugs, I never saw one time where they administered a field sobriety test. He was just handcuffed, jerked out of the car, handcuffed, and it led to his death. No field sobriety. Placed on the pavement while officers stood around, while two officers knelt over his back, one at his throat, the other in his mid to lower back, while the other officers just stood there. Murder, homicide. If that was a departmental procedure and policy, the investigation needs to be taken on higher levels. There's no way a handcuffed individual should be placed on their stomach and an officer's knee on their neck, and he's pleading, I can't breathe, mama, I can't breathe. And I heard another voice in the background saying, leave him alone. Something to that effect. He died. I hope they charge those officers with first-degree murder, and don't isolate them when they put them in prison. Throw them in the general population. Throw them to the wolves. See how long they last. Also, officers have been killed. I'm just as adamant about that too. An officer is just trying to do his job in the line of duty if he's doing it with integrity, in defense and support, protection of people's liberties, their lives. There are times when we have to become dangerous and protect lives. There are times. A sane person doesn't look for those times. We don't embrace those times. We don't want to execute those times. But sound, sane, empathetic individuals have to be dangerous at times. Had our founding fathers not become dangerous in protection and defense of independence, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, we wouldn't be in the place we are right now. Though there's individuals out there trying to erode our lives, our liberty, and our pursuit of happiness away from us. They're trying to destroy it. Well, it's time for us, American citizens, to rise up and become dangerous. Not through apathy, but through empathy. I just come across another article or YouTube where firemen were stopped in putting out a fire in a home, and a little child died because of it, because of violent protesters. Well, I left a comment saying, what in the world, what do you mean a child had to die? If I'd have been a fireman there, I'd have turned the hose on those people, started the fire truck up, and ran over every one of them to save that child. Are you serious? My God, what are we living in? Fear? We're Americans. We don't have anything to fear. That's why the Second Amendment has been placed strategically where it's at, right under the First. It's a last resort. We don't want to resort to that, but we're not afraid to. And remember, the Supreme Court, political legislature, a president, no political party gives us the right to defend ourselves. It's our God-given inherent right. It's intrinsic. We're born with it. And this is one of the times that we, the people, have our God-given right to bear arms to keep our states free from domestic terrorism. Exercise it. You are the American militia. Remain in your homes, peaceful. If you're going to protest, do it peaceably, but do it armed. And when people try to take your life, destroy your family, your friends, your property, your business, take them out. It's not negotiable, because they have one intent: to destroy your life and destroy your possessions and property. This is why we have the Second Amendment, one of the reasons. These are domestic terrorists. These are not Americans. They may want to drape themselves in the flag, but they're wolves in sheep's clothing. I certainly take my hat off and highly respect the sheriff in Florida that reminded the terrorist that the people in that county own firearms, they love guns, and if you're going to trespass their rights as American citizens, they'll blow you out the front door. That's the message that needs to be made clear and exercised. We are given our God-given right and authority to defend our lives, protect our property, and our possessions. Don't live in fear, people. It's not time to live in fear. We are American patriots. We are American warriors. Oh yeah, by the way, where's all the Democratic voices? Where are they at? Where are they at now? If this had been a school shooting, oh my goodness, they'd be crawling out of the woodwork. Oh, we've got to take guns away from the people. Really? Well, why don't you take guns away from the cops? You say, oh, we can't do that. We need police officers. Well, you know what? You need American citizens too. All lives matter. Without the American citizens, you can't be voted into office. Without the American citizens, you have no paycheck. Without the American citizens' taxes, there is no government. All lives matter. But see, politicians, they call themselves progressive. Progressive what? That's bullshit. They want to progress right back into tyranny again is what they want to do. They want to progress right back into becoming dictators. That's what they want to do. So where you at, Democrats? I call you out. I'll debate you any place, anytime, civilly, intelligently. And I'll show you just how stupid you are and how much full of bullshit rhetoric you are. This is time for Americans to become Americans. We are American patriots. We are American warriors. We love life. We love liberty. We love the pursuit of happiness. And we are our brother's keeper. But we will not tolerate, we will not support, we will not defend those that want to destroy our nation as a free nation, those that want to violate our Bill of Rights, the Constitution, and the Declaration of Independence. We're not going to sit by idly. I am poised right now. I'm ready. Where I live, so far it's been very peaceable. We've had some peaceful protesting, which is fine. You have a First Amendment right to do that. But I'm poised and ready. Should they come into my property, my neighbor's property, anywhere within eyeshot, and want to start fires, and start destroying homes, businesses, you know what the result's going to be? I'm going to shoot them. Just that simple. I would defend my part of the state because I am part of we the people that have a right to keep and bear arms accordingly. And hey, until next time, God bless and be a true American.